So a couple videos ago, guys, I may have said I wasn't going to make any more Bass Tracker Classic XL videos. Well, I may have lied about that.
You liar!
So what I want to do today, guys, is I want to do a review on the Bass Tracker Classic XL after owning it for 2 years now. First, before we get into that, I want to talk about, for those of you that are new to the channel, I want to kind of inform you on how this boat came into my life and the things I've done to this boat and how this boat has been involved with this channel so much over the last couple of years. So I bought this boat 2 years ago. It was right around this time. I believe it was January 9th of 2021. It's been great. It really has. It was a very affordable boat for me at the time. It was my first boat. And when I first seen it, guys, I knew that it was the right fit for me because I knew someone like myself that's very crafty, very handy, that I could heavily customize this boat to really truly make it a fishing machine. And that's essentially what I did over time. What this boat has allowed me to do is meet a lot of new people that have owned this same boat or still do own this same boat to this day, because I started making videos on these modifications and posting them here on the Bread for Bass YouTube channel. And what happened is hundreds, if not thousands of people over the years have reached out to me and asked me for advice on how to build something, how to do something, things they've seen in my video they had questions on, and so on and so forth. So it's really truly been something that's opened up not only more fish catching, but more relationship opportunities with people all around the world. So something really cool that's happened here, guys, recently is a couple larger YouTube channels have actually highlighted this boat in one of their videos on their YouTube channels over the last, I don't know, year or so. One being Mikey Balls. He had a guy in there named Lee who actually fully customizes Bass Tracker Classic XL, and to be honest, it's probably the best one I've ever seen. He completely customized it from the front to the back with the changing of the decals, everything. You should go check it out, guys. I'll probably leave a link in the description. It's a very awesome boat. But what's really cool is Lee actually shouted out the Bread for Bass channel.
Big shout out to Matt from Bread for Bass.
He followed a lot of what I did on my casting deck extension. So that was really cool. And Lee, if you ever watch this, I appreciate the shout out, man. And then the other channel, guys, is Dustin Connell, who is a Bass Pro Tour professional. Now, I'll be honest with you, he never actually called it the Bass Tracker Classic XL. I'm assuming due to sponsor obligations or whatever it may be, but he purchased one of these for a boat to kind of just take around his house when he didn't want to take his big tournament boat out, you know, running the rivers, etc. But he put a lot of big time electronics on it, and he seems to really enjoy it as well. So this boat has kind of made a reach to not only the poor man like myself, but also to other people, all the way from the average angler up to the professional ranks. So it's pretty cool, guys, and I think a lot of people are going to continue to buy this boat, and that's what today's video, guys, is about, to help you understand how I feel about this boat after owning it for 2 years now. Let's get into the pros, guys. Pro number one, this boat was cheap. When I purchased this boat, I purchased it for $12,995, guys. I pay just a little bit over $100 a month. That is nothing when it comes to boat ownership. I'm very pleased with that. I'm still glad that I got it for that price. That has made this whole experience very nice because I'm not strapped when it comes financially to a boat, and I love that. Second pro is, guys, is fuel efficiency. The 50 horsepower or the 40 horsepower, or even if you convert it to the 60 horsepower like some people do, it's a 4-stroke Mercury. It's very fuel efficient. It sips gas. I still have the 6-gallon tank in my boat, guys. I've never ran it empty, and I've never put more than $10 in my gas tank, not one time, because I've never ran it empty. I always top it off when I'm at the gas station before I go out, and I've never had to fill it up from empty. But I'm assuming if I did, even with today's crazy gas prices, it would probably still cost me $18 to $20 tops to fill that thing up. So very fuel efficient. Love that about this boat. Pro number 3, easy to launch, easy to load. I mean that. It's a very easy boat to back into the water. It's lightweight. It's only 16 foot 8 inches, and it's a very easy boat to trailer. You could pull this boat up on the trailer, and when you pull it up into the parking lot after getting off the boat ramp, and if the boat's for some reason not on center of the trailer like it needs to be, you can literally just one person just push it over and slide it on the trailer to get it where you want it. It's really that easy, guys. You couldn't do that with a fiberglass boat. A large fiberglass boat, if you're not on center, you're backing that trailer back down the water, you're pulling the boat off the trailer, and you're going to go at it again and try to get it on center. So very easy to launch, very easy to load. That's my pro number 3. Pro number 4, handles in rough water better than I expected. Now, let me preface this. I'm not talking about taking this boat out in 5-6 foot waves and running it wide open. That's not what I'm talking about. Don't get that wrong. Don't get that twisted. I'm saying if you come across some rough water, 2, 3, 4 footers, you can get back to land safely if you know how to drive the boat properly. Pro number 5, this boat can be customized very easily. It's basically just like a clean working slate, guys. It's very bare bones. I've added a casting deck extension. I've added a new trolling motor, new graphs, retractable rod straps, LED lighting, boat buckle tie downs, additional batteries, onboard chargers, coolers, steps between the seats. I mean, I've done so many things to this boat, really cool things to this boat to kind of make it my own. And that's truly what I do love about this boat. And I think if you're someone that's about to buy this boat, it's something that you're truly going to love about this boat as well. That's all the pros, guys. Now, like most things, there's got to be some cons. So let's talk about those things next. The first thing that I would call a con is the boat is narrow. I really wish the boat was wider. I really wish the beam was wider. It can be a little bit sketchy in rougher water when you're out there trying to fish, standing up on the front casting deck. Not a whole lot of room, especially for my fat ass to maneuver around the seat when the seat's in. But that might be just more of a personal problem. But regardless, I still do believe, whether you're a bigger guy or not, this boat is a little more narrow than I'd like. It's not bad when you got calm water, but when you get out there in some bigger waves, you got a lot of boat traffic or just rough water in general, and you're trying to fish down a shoreline, you really got to brace yourself when those bigger waves come in, because if you're not paying attention, you'll absolutely fall in the lake. And I'm pretty sure at some point my big ass is going to be rolling into the lake fishing out of this boat. Now, the second thing, guys, I would call a con is it has a small live well. Now, it does not affect me all that much because I don't do a whole lot of tournament fishing, but I do jump into a tournament from time to time. I believe it's a 9-gallon live well, if I remember right. Now, if you're someone like me that lives in Ohio or another Midwest state, you're not going to be catching 30, 35 pounds of bass in a day. So it might not affect you as much as it does somebody that might live in Texas or Florida or somewhere like that, where they catch those larger bags of fish. Now, will it hold 10 pounds to 18 pounds? Probably. You know, with the proper live well management, with some G-juice, the proper aeration, you know, some ice for those hot summer days, stuff like that, you can help keep those fish alive. But the live well is small, and the fish are going to be jam-packed in there tight. But it might not be a deal breaker for you, but it could be something that is a deal breaker, especially if someone that's looking to heavy tournament fish out of this boat. Now, I will tell you, there are guys that have added bigger live wells and done really nice jobs with that. So it's definitely a possibility that you can add a larger live well into this boat. I would call the third con, guys, is it does not have any storage space, really. It has a little bit. It comes with one large compartment behind the driver and passenger seat and one small compartment up under the front deck. But other than that, there's not really a whole lot of places that you can store your tackle. And it's not just tackle you got to worry about. I mean, you got your life jackets, you got anchors, you got ropes, you got tie-offs, you got, you know, your bumpers, you got sunscreen, bug spray, wallet, phone. I mean, you have a lot of different things to store that you might not even think about, but once you start putting stuff in the boat, the storage runs out really quickly. Now, for me, I have a casting deck extension, guys, on my boat with 2 large compartments that holds all my tackle and some, so that really benefited me. But I do know guys that are very avid bass fishermen that don't have that casting deck extension, and they make do with it. There's a lot of floor space that comes with the boat, so you can put tackle bags in there, etc., but you don't get that true storage that you're looking for, especially like when it comes to one of the larger or higher end bass boats. You just don't get that kind of storage when it comes to this boat. And you don't get a rod locker either, which kind of sucks, but I make do. The fourth thing I would call a con, guys, is the carpet's pretty cheap. I've had this boat for 2 years now, and the carpet's already starting to wear thin in a couple spots. I would say probably within the next couple years that I'm probably going to be seeing through into the deck, because I fish a lot, guys. You know, I do use my boat a lot. I'm not one of those guys that buys a boat and it sits there and they take it out once every 6 months. I mean, I'm in my boat 2-3 times a week, you know, during the fishing season especially. So basically from March all the way up until late October, early November, I'm in my boat. So my boat gets a lot of use. I can already see some of the wear on the carpet, but That's a cosmetic thing, guys. It's not a deal breaker for me. I'm a pretty handy guy. If I got to change the carpet at some point, that's what I'll do. And to be honest, if I ever have to change it, I'm probably just going to put sea decking down anyway. So it's not a deal breaker for me, but that is something I would call a con. It just comes with cheap carpet. Fifth thing I would say is a con, guys, is some trailer rust. You know, most boat trailers, it doesn't matter if it's a bass tracker or if it's a freaking Ranger, boat trailers, they rust. They rust because they're in the water a lot. You back them down boat ramps, they get in the water, they get exposed to the elements a lot, and they just get rust. This trailer's held up pretty good. There's no corrosion on it, but there is a couple rust spots already starting to come through the black paint. So I'll keep an eye on it, and in time we'll just see how it all goes. But I'm sure at some point, you know, I'm going to have to do some trailer maintenance. But fortunately, after 2 years, I've had to do none as of yet. Sixth con is, guys, is the windshield on the driver's seat is too damn tall, and it drives me crazy. And it's just not me, it's a lot of other guys. For whatever reason, the height on that windshield is so tall that it just is right in your line of sight. So either you have to look up over top of it, or you have to hunch down to look underneath the top of it. And it's really annoying, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Some guys actually cut their windshield down. I've thought about doing that. I don't understand why Tracker just can't put a smaller damn windshield on it, why they got to put this freaking gigantic windshield on it. But it's what it is, and it actually kind of comes in handy for me sometimes because I actually clip my GoPro onto the windshield, so it kind of gives me more options when it comes to getting better camera views. But overall, not a deal breaker for me, but it is annoying, but it's something I just have gotten used to and just deal with. All right, guys, so I've went over the pros, I've went over the cons. Now let's say, would I buy this boat again? Absolutely, 100%, I would definitely buy this boat again. This boat's been a great boat to me. I've had no major issues with it, knock on wood. It's allowed me a lot of opportunities. It's allowed me a lot of fish catching opportunities, getting out to places that I just could not get to when I was fishing from the bank. And it's also allowed me the opportunity to meet a lot of other people around the country that own this same boat. So I've developed a lot of relationships because of this boat, and I'm very appreciative and fortunate for that. So I would 100% buy this boat again, guys. Now I will be 100% honest with you. I was about this close to selling the boat this year. Now, I did not sell it because of multiple reasons. One, it's probably not the best time or the best economy to be purchasing a higher end bass boat in. It's just not, and that's ultimately probably what the main deal breaker was for me. But another thing was I just love this boat, and it's very affordable, and I put a lot of time and sweat into making this boat how I wanted to make it. So it was really personal to me, and I have no issues with the boat. Ultimately, I just wanted something bigger. That's really the only reason I even thought about selling it. I just wanted something that I can fish more Great Lakes with, or larger bodies of water with, guys. Because if you follow this channel, you know I chase smallmouth bass a lot, and a lot of times to get them big smallmouth, you got to get out on the Great Lakes. So that's really what the main reason for me even wanting to sell it was, because that's where I feel the Bass Tracker Classic XL falls. Is it's not a big water boat. Now, most bass boats in period are not big water boats, but there's better options out there than the Bass Tracker Classic XL when it comes to larger water. But for everything around here, whether it be horsepower limit lakes, smaller inland lakes, this boat does everything I needed to do, and it's awesome. So I'm glad I made a decision not to sell it. At some point, I will buy a new boat, whether that's 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I don't know. But for the time being, guys, you're going to be seeing me catch bass out of the Bass Tracker Classic XL. Now, concluding this video, something I want to talk about real quick is the Tracker brand in general. You always hear the term that Tracker is a poor man's bass boat, and that may be true, but I don't really like that term. One, because it's still a large investment. If you're buying a Bass Tracker Classic XL, which is essentially one of their cheaper, probably is their cheapest boat that you can buy brand new with the steering console. And I'm pretty sure that thing's $16,000, $17,000, or $18,000 brand new. That's a large investment. That's nothing to blink an eye at. So I hate when I hear that poor man's bass boat thing, like just anybody can afford that, and that's not the case. But I will say it's probably very affordable for a lot of us. And don't let the Tracker name deter you away from doing what you want to do. There's a lot of people out there that like to put down that Tracker brand, but you can really turn these into some really nice boats with a little bit of elbow grease, guys. And I've caught a ton of bass, and I mean a ton of bass out of my Bass Tracker, and I couldn't be more happy with it. You know, I'm very proud of my boat. I look at it all the time in the garage and I still think to myself, like, damn, man, I can't believe, like, I have my own boat. Like, this is awesome. You know, so it's been a life changer for me. Go get that tracker, man. Go get it. I promise you, you won't be disappointed in it. I've never talked to anybody. And like I said, I've talked to hundreds, if not thousands of people that have owned this boat. And I've never heard one time someone say, I hate that boat. Now, people sell their boat for many different reasons. It could be financial reasons. It could be they just want to upgrade. But I've never heard anybody say that they dislike the boat. It's a great boat. Don't question it no more. Go out there and buy it if you can. That's all I have for this one, guys. Everybody stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you soon.